Welcome back to the show. Are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party of the United States? Remember that? Of course you do. Now today, history is repeating itself. It's McCarthyism 2.0. This time, however, the tables have turned, and it's liberals targeting conservatives. Now recently, singer-actress Maria Conchita Alonso was set to star in a Spanish-language production of the Vagina Monologues. Well, that was before she appeared in a campaign ad supporting California Assemblyman and gubernatorial hopeful Tim Donnelly. One problem. Donnelly, you see, is one of those evil, horrible Tea Party Republicans.
Hi, I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm running for governor.
Hola, él es Tim Donnelly, ella es Tequila, pero es Tim quien es el candidato a la gobernación de California.
You know, I love this state. I came here with $300 in my pocket, married the sexiest woman in California. I raised 5 sons and started a business. That's a California dream.
Wow, él dice que quiere mucho a este estado. Llegó con solo $300 en su bolsillo, construyó una empresa y le pudo dar una muy buena crianza a sus 5 hijos. Y al parecer él cree que se casó conmigo. Bueno, puedes soñar, Tim.
You know, politicians and big government are killing our prosperity. They're driving businesses out of our state, pushing welfare costs through the roof, and driving our schools into the ground.
Estamos bien jodidos.
Now, for her support, Maria Conchita Alonso has basically become a modern-day victim of McCarthyism. Sad. Maria Conchita Alonso and Tim Donnelly both join me now. Thank you both so much for joining me. We have Maria on remote and Tim in studio.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's so good to see you both. Maria, let me start with you. Did you anticipate this sort of reaction at all, simply because you endorsed a candidate? I mean, you have celebrities that endorse candidates all the time.
Yes. No, I mean, never, ever anything like this crossed my mind. Not even that, you know, Tequila was going to be attacked also. You know, it's like... It's very strange because I was born in Cuba. I was raised in Venezuela. We had to leave Cuba because of communism. Now Venezuela is going through the same thing. And now the United States that used to be, because it's no longer like that, a place where, you know, first, you know, Democrats and Republicans didn't dislike each other so much, didn't hate each other so much. My boyfriend is a Democrat. We don't agree on everything. I don't agree on everything with Republicans, you know. But now that I can't talk and say something, you know, that is not how most people in Hollywood believe in. Well, no, I'm sorry. Do I have to give away my SAG card for being truth? You know? Right,
exactly. Well, and Tequila may not even get any work now either as a result. Yeah, Tequila was in that commercial. Tim, I have to ask you, what I loved about this commercial, and you didn't see it in the clip that we played, but you know, you can get the full one at TheBlaze.com, but what I loved about this ad is that you and Maria didn't even agree in the ad. I mean, you guys had a little bit, you know, a few seconds where you debated, which I thought was great, and it contrasts so sharply with the partisanship and prejudice, quite frankly, that you were shown because of this ad. Explain that a little bit, because I've never seen a candidate leave something like that in an ad before.
Well, in the beginning of the ad, we actually bleep me as well. and you know, we're doing things to try to start a conversation.
Right.
And the interesting thing is Maria is an incredible animal rights activist. And she was looking through my record and she said, hey, I don't really agree with you on this one bill that you supported. And so we talked about it. And we decided that she wanted to have something in there that showed that she made her viewpoint clear. And I said, hey, that's fine. That's great. I had no idea how funny it would be. But you know what's interesting is what happened to tolerance and the ability to disagree respectfully, but focus on the important things.
Yeah.
What's at stake in 2014 is not whether you agree on 100% of the issues. What's at stake is whether or not we're going to live free.
Exactly.
And we're certainly not going to live free if we can't speak freely.
Yeah, and that's just the question. You know, you mentioned tolerance. What happened to tolerance? And this ad, the production that Maria's in, this was taking place in the Mission, San Francisco. I mean, that's That's progressive central. That's where all the liberals go. And for them to say, Maria, that they just couldn't continue with you in the production and you resigned out of just to make it easier for your castmates and for the production because people were threatening to burn down the theater. Did you find that a little ironic, though, that it was the mission reacting this way?
You know, it's just everything is so complicated because that people don't have, like, you know, Tim and I are talking about, we don't, you know, they don't have to agree with me, but something that they forget all the time is to continue with I'm accused as being an anti-immigrant and a racist and a hypocrite and all, that's the nicest thing they've said about me, against me. But it's like, they forget one word. They forget that it's like undocumented immigrants, okay? One thing, I'm an immigrant. We're all immigrants, you know. Well, not all, but you know, a lot of us are. But it's a little detail. And I was telling Tim that I like to help those that are here without papers, but that are good, you know, good workers, right, that are not a burden for the country. But those that are, kick them out right away. They should be gone. Why should they be here? You know, I mean, it's like my home. I'm only going to let in my home someone that is nice and is not going to harm my home.
Right.
And you know, come in. You're welcome. You're a good human being. And they know, but they only attack him as a racist when he's married to a Filipina woman, and yeah, one of his sons is married to a Mexican woman, and
exactly,
the other one is going. You know, it's like so ridiculous, really.
It is, and there's another question I wanted to get to with you too, because this is a headline that just hit today. And Tim, you had mentioned in this ad that you wanted to bring Hollywood back to California, which we're going to revisit in a second. But Maria, I know that you've spoken out about this. I mean, for those who don't know, Maria has a long history of speaking out about her political beliefs. This article in the New York Times that came out today, specifically going after Hollywood conservatives. It's the big secret in Hollywood, you don't mention it, the FOA group, Friends of Abe, whose membership is secretive. No one talks about it. But the New York Times is discussing how the IRS is essentially being weaponized to go after this group. But yet you have all of these. You have the People for the American Way. That was founded by Norman Lear that exists. They're not faced with the same sort of McCarthyistic tactics. What is your reaction to that story?
You talking to me?
Yes,
Are you talking
Maria.
To me? Okay. You know, that shows you, that shows like maybe that they want to put that group, make it problematic to him, to the group, because they're conservative.
Right.
That group doesn't do any political things. You know, it's just to be there and be able to talk to others that in many things think like you, but we should
right,
agree that we don't want any communist or any extreme leftists, you know, in this country. And you know, and that is something also that is very, very important to mention. You know, inside the Democratic Party, which, you know, most of my friends really are Democrats, and my boyfriend is, but they're good and bad people. Okay, you know, they're
right,
the good ones that don't like communism, blah blah blah. They're great people. But then there are the communists. They are in that party.
Right.
In the Republican Party,
yeah,
you will not find a communist, not one,
no,
unless it's
infiltrated. And you don't find people that run other people out on a rail for their beliefs. Tim, I wanted to ask you really quickly before we go here, though. You talked about bringing Hollywood back. It's hard to do that when the IRS is going after those conservatives and people who make those movies.
Yeah, I mean, you led with McCarthyism 2.0. There's an ideological heresy that if you say the wrong thing and you speak the wrong ideology, then you're not tolerated.
Right.
And no wonder people are leaving California and leaving this country searching for freedom elsewhere. We need to stand up and draw a line in the sand.
Exactly.
And say, we are going to defend freedom in 2014.
Yeah, and
you know what? And
yes,
then Tim always says, and that I love, because to tell you the truth, I hate politics. Doesn't look like it, but I do. And I don't like most politicians. Tim says he's not a politician. He is a patriot. Wow, I love that. I am the same.
And
I'm
you
a patriot.
You are the exact same way. I thank you both so much. And Tim, you got an uphill battle to fight. Really quickly, your website.
Yes, it's electtimdonnelly.com.
Maria, thank you. Tim, thank you so much. I so appreciate you having both of you on the show.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you. Bye, Tequila. Say bye.
Bye, Tequila. All right, folks, stay with us. Hate mail.